And now for our feature presentation.
This is great because on the back it actually says this film is also known as
the I'll Watch It Later podcast.
You ever heard of that film?
And now, on with the show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to I'll Watch It Later podcast, the podcast where we lie about the movies we've seen to impress our friends. As always, I'm joined by my best friend, Jordan.
Hello.
And my best friend, brother-in-law, and what?
You were thinking about something. You were trying to think of something.
My best friend, brother-in-law, and producer, Scott.
Hello.
And I'm Aaron.
Scott can he do?
He was like, how many times can I call this guy an asshole? I need to come up with something different.
Well, considering the
You
last
are an
three
asshole.
shows, he's somehow messed up the intro in some way. Like he's changed it up. Like I think he was really thinking hard to make sure it was done right. He's like, my best friend Jordan. And I'm like, yeah, he did it. Yes, hi.
And then, of course, Scott's like, I have to throw you off because you took a slight pause.
Don't pause.
Like, how dare you pause?
You have to flow right into it.
Right, apparently.
I was waiting for the insult. I was waiting for that insult to come hurling across the table.
My
Brother-in-law, my best friend, and soon-to-be transgender.
Total fucking
My
douchebag.
gay best friend, Scott, who saw Coldplay with me.
Yes.
We gayed it up.
You know, I'm not a huge Coldplay fan, but it was fun.
It was.
Yeah.
We would have had a good time, Jordan.
They put on a great show.
Honestly, like I know like two songs.
It
And
doesn't
And
matter.
I don't even like their songs.
It
Like I
doesn't
just
matter. You do it because you get the tickets for free, and then you get to experience something you haven't experienced before.
right, but you got to consider it was all the way at the football stadium.
Oh, that
We would have drove you.
That was the worst
I
part.
understand, but I've heard the freeways are all messed up right now because of stupid water leaks and
That
all this
wasn't-
shit on the 60.
That wasn't the issue. The
But
issue
then
was
you
parking.
have to,
The
yeah,
issue was
parking
getting
sucks.
out and getting in.
Right, which means
Because-
guess what? It's an hour and a half there from here. And you have to add another 40 minutes for me to get home. It's like going down to Tucson for Cohee and coming back, and you guys got to get in your car and hoof it back up.
We didn't get home till damn near almost 1 o'clock.
Which means I wouldn't have been home till almost 2.
When? For Coldplay?
yeah,
I don't think so.
it was about
like
quarter to
11.
1 by the time I rolled into the
I don't know.
house.
This isn't the Coldplay podcast.
It is.
Anyways,
It's about our lives. You guys love
We're
it.
gonna
Yeah.
sit and go over the set list.
This is how our week was.
well, I will tell you this. They had these wristbands, and I couldn't stop freaking out about these wristbands.
I heard.
These wristbands went along with the show, but
Uh-huh.
we didn't get them because we showed up late. So they didn't give them.
There's like a black spot in the audience, and they're like, well, what the hell happened there?
Look at these four assholes.
we didn't get them, but everyone around us had them. And like as they would sing the songs, the wristbands would go off, and they'd turn different colors. And then like one section would be one color, and another section would be another color. And it was just so immersive that I was like, "This is the future of concerts." I was seriously like, "This is."
They're like,
incredible.
how do we create a light show on the fans?
Yeah, I've actually experienced something similar to that
course
at a
you
hockey
have.
game once.
Of
They did
course
that
you have.
where all the audience members had, like you said, like a little wristband with like an RF chip or something, and then like it would light up at certain moments. It's a cool concept. It's really cool, but you
Yeah,
know,
apparently they're sustainable. I don't know how plastic wristbands are sustainable.
I'm sure they're made with like coconut husks or something like that.
Well, I think it's just because they reuse them. They
Yeah,
probably
well, right.
and they
Give them back.
They charge them using solar energy. Anyways, this is a
power
movie.
of Coldplay.
This is I'll Watch It Later podcast, the podcast where we talk about movies. It has been 2 weeks.
not Coldplay.
Yes.
I don't know, that's
Although
on a soundtrack somewhere.
you should go see them live if you like Coldplay. I enjoyed it very much. Have you guys seen anything over the last 2 weeks besides my movie?
We'll defer
What
to
did
Scott
you
first.
see?
I did watch a movie.
What
you
did
watch?
you watch?
I watched The Lost City.
Oh,
I was gonna watch it and I didn't, and
Oh
it bums
my God.
me out.
How fucking horrible.
Is it bad?
It is.
Damn it.
They were like, let's take all these stars and let's try to make like an Uncharted, but make it goofy and funny.
I thought it was Romancing the Stone.
I was gonna say it reminded me of like a
Kind of-
Romancing the
that-
Stone.
It was kind of all that stuff. It was like because they're on this quest to unlock this tapestry, and Daniel Radcliffe plays like this super nice villain.
Yeah,
And,
you could tell he
like,
was in the villain.
Yeah,
and the
he's actually pretty funny.
doubt.
And the like the chemistry between Brad Pitt and Channing Tatum for such a fucking short time that he's on the screen was really good, and I wanted more of that. But other than that, the movie's just a fucking it was a burner.
I'm assuming most of Brad Pitt's parts were what we saw in the trailer, just very short, quick little thing, and then
That's exactly.
yeah,
They showed his entire part in the trailer.
That sucks.
Well, and then he dies, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
He dies in some stupid way, right? Yeah. It's very predictable. It's the most predictable.
I mean, I can spoil it, but I mean, it's.
Oh, go ahead. If anyone listening, it's on Paramount Plus. So it's streaming. So just watch
he's
it.
like this rescuer. He's like Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Right.
And he goes in and saves Sandra Bullock's character, and Channing Tatum is like just tagging along because he has this love.
He's seen the trailer.
In love with her.
It's so predictable. Yeah.
For people that other than you that are listening.
Okay.
And then he rescues her, and then they're trying to get in his little tiny vehicle that he fucking has, and he gets fucking shot in the head. And it blows like brains all over Channing Tatum's fucking face.
Oh, my God.
Then that's where the hilarity ensues, where they have to like escape by themselves.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll probably end up watching. Like I said, it's on Paramount Plus. It's right there.
Man. My watch list
But
is
he
so
doesn't
huge that
die.
I'd rather just watch stuff.
It's gonna be one of those ones where I'm laying in bed. I'll just throw it
like
on
I just
my
got
phone
the
and fall
Wages
asleep too.
of Fear on fucking Criterion. I need to watch that.
There were so much others, but because I was home with Krista, she was like, "Oh yeah, I want to watch that."
Of course.
Because it was
She's
like
a
it was
girl.
between that, it was between like the Northman and like
Firestarter.
all
You
the
should
other
have watched
shit.
the fucking Northman.
I know.
I could barely stay awake for fucking Lost City.
Damn.
Yeah,
dude.
Northman's 2.5 hours. I do it when you're awake. It's
So good.
I
though.
wanted
It's
to
worth it.
leave. I wanted to leave a time where I knew that I could just barrel through it with a full fucking brain.
I'm so mixed on how things are now, where
That
it's
will never
like
happen.
I just saw the Northman. Like we just went to the
And it's
movie,
on
and then like
VOD,
now
yeah.
it's on video on demand. And I'm sitting there going, I'm glad I experienced it in the theater, but I'm also kind of just super upset that it went so quickly for someone else to watch it. Like, go out and see it. Support this movie. Now it's just like right there, and it's like fuck.
I think it was because it was the $90 million, and then like it didn't do too well. I think it went to VOD
It went quick, like, it was 2
faster
weeks,
than normal.
if that.
But whatever, man. Hopefully,
I hope people watch it. It's a
me
good
too.
movie.
So I just want Eggers to keep making films, and I don't want him to fall into like.
Well, this
the
is his first like
Marvel fucking
studio
camp.
film. Oh yeah, people were asking him like, "Do you want to do that?" And he goes like, "The movies I make are not what Marvel wants."
He said
And
straight up that he doesn't want to do contemporary. It's all he wants to do all period pieces.
Yeah.
and I'm like, thank you.
Know what you can
Like,
do?
please.
Yeah, but you could do that old Marvel 1600s series.
Don't-
Oh,
Don't, hush. I
It's
don't
the
want.
witch with
I don't
fucking
want
Cyclops.
these directors to fucking fall under that umbrella. I feel like it's comfortable. It's like, oh, I'll just make a lot of money. We're making these crap. They're not crappy, but they're like churned out. Fucking superhero movies, and I just rather them keep doing their own thing.
I don't mind superhero movies.
Well, yeah, but
What did we saw
Strange,
Doctor
too.
Strange after
But
the
Scott-
last show, so we
Scott hasn't seen it.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, let's ruin it for him. So we saw Doctor Strange 2. It was directed by Sam Raimi, and honestly, this is just a Sam Raimi movie with a Marvel filter, I guess.
love
It was a lot of fun. If you like Evil Dead, you're going to like this movie.
It's dripping with just Evil Dead. Like it to the point where there's parts where there's these demons coming out and they're like, I'll swallow your soul, like kind of shit. And it's like, that's so fucking Sam Raimi. Like I was ready to stand up and remove my pants. Like it was just perfect. And I'm like, God
Aaron's
damn
like,
it.
this is awkward.
No, we both looked at each other and we
were
were like, this is amazing.
As he reaches over.
the cinematography, everything, it was all Raimi 100%, to the way the doors closed in the fucking movie. Like, it was 100% Evil Dead. It had that Sam Raimi touch. You could feel him all over the movie. I mean, I like Scott Dickerson or whatever the fuck his name is. But I feel like I like seeing these like these other directors in the Marvel universe. Or as I was just saying,
I like seeing their spin on things.
Yeah,
like their fingerprint.
touch.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Oh,
So-
I'm the same way. And Derrickson did, I think, the first one, and it was good. I liked the first one. I think this was a good move because we got Sam Raimi doing it. He's coming back to directing. He hasn't directed anything in a while, and then he's back into the Marvel fold after doing some of the Spider-Man movies. But Derrickson moved on to do The Black Phone, which looks fucking great. And I
agree.
can't wait to see
I can't
that.
wait to see it either. My only fear is that the trailer's just giving way too much away.
I
So
feel the
I
same
didn't
way.
watch the second trailer just because I watched the first one. I was like, fuck, man. I already dig this movie. I don't want to know anything else. But like, I just want to see the movie. So
Yeah, and I'm starting to do that now where I think I'm avoiding a lot of trailers now.
Yeah.
Because I think they're just giving... Like, I feel Doctor Strange 2 gave too much.
Do you think so? I don't.
I feel like it does. There are still things that still surprise me. People can't get over themselves with all the spoilers 3 days later, and it's kind of
I don't
annoying,
even care so much about the cameos. Yeah, John Krasinski plays Mr. Fantastic. Wow. I don't even care about that. I think this sets up a much better, like, fucking, like, multiverse, like, story going
Gives them
forward.
options.
Yeah, I'm tired. The internet seems to be, like, divided. You either love or hate this movie, and I don't understand the
It's
hate
weird.
at all. And everyone's like, they just assassinated Wanda's character. And I'm like,
Well,
no.
They did what they should have done, and they did what the comic books did. Like, Wanda is not this happy-go-lucky, fun character.
I
She's
know.
very complex, and she's very emotionally messed up. And, just...
That's what they're saying, though. It's like, all this character development in WandaVision was just taken away because of her love for her kids. First off, the kids were just a MacGuffin device to show that she's really fucking still crazy.
Yes.
And, it also nerfs the two most powerful characters in the MCU, so we don't have to be like, why didn't they just call her to fucking fix the situation?
It's the whole reason why they got rid of the Hulk, and that you didn't see him for like 3 movies until Ragnarok. You had to get rid of something that could just literally mow down everything.
Yeah.
Bulletproof, he's strong, he can kick everyone's ass. What do we do with him? Well, we got to get rid of him.
I think it works as one of those puzzle pieces inside the entire MCU. I don't understand what people actually wanted, so
who knows?
Fuck them, I guess.
And I can't honestly find any good reasons why people hate it. Like, they say, well, I didn't like it. And I was like, tell me why.
Right.
Well, I don't know. It just felt weird. I'm like, well, then that's not a reason. Like, that's not a reason to hate the movie. You may have, been uncomfortable, or maybe it wasn't what you wanted, but to hate this movie is kind of weird. And I've seen a lot of people give that reason, well, it just, I don't know, it just felt out of place. No, it didn't.
No,
Guardians felt out of place.
Right.
Ragnarok feels out of place. Like, every movie's different. They shouldn't feel the same. And any movie that feels the same then gets boring.
Yeah.
It's the same reason Ultron fucking felt weird, because it was just more of the same shit. And, I like the differences in these movies, and I'm excited to see what they build toward and see other things. Like, they're planning on, I'm hoping it leads to like a Secret Wars situation. I know they're doing a show of that, but I think that's going to lead into a bigger
movie.
Let's blend everything. You're gonna get the X-Men. You're gonna probably have Disney wrestle some of these Spider-Man properties away from Sony because they're fucking everything up.
See.
And we're gonna see something more cohesive. And you know what? So far, I have not hated everything.
Black Cat movie. I think the other reason people hated it is because they were expecting like 50 plus cameos, which when I originally read the plot leaks and stuff, that's what Tom Cruise was supposed to be a superior Iron Man, and that's like a real thing, I guess. Well, they really reached out to him for it, but it didn't happen this time. And and all this other shit, you got and I guess like Deadpool was supposed to be in it, and fucking Wolverine, and it's like, if you're just going to the movie to watch cameos, then this isn't the movie for you. Like, then go back and watch No Way Home or something. I mean, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, you were expecting something and then you didn't get it. Like, they still have 20 years of movies left. Like, you're gonna get all these characters.
We're gonna get a lot.
So just relax. Enjoy it for what it was. Doctor Strange is one of my favorite Marvel characters after Spider-Man. It's like, just fuck off.
I just hate that they feel like they have to put things in the trailers to get people to go to the movies.
They really
by
put too much.
putting the reveal that that the X-Men like crossover with Doctor Strange is coming, and you put that in the. I would rather just show up to the movie and then see it in the movie and go, oh shit.
Well, that was the Fantastic Four reveal in the movie. Everyone in the theater, I already knew, which was fine, and everybody in the theater freaked out. I was like, okay, cool, yeah, that's awesome. I'm really happy that all these people are
But if you
excited
see the
about
trailer,
this.
you knew it was coming.
Exactly, yeah, but
well, and then that's the problem, and that's where I feel like like, why are you even advertising Marvel movies at this point? You can literally just say Doctor Strange is coming on a black screen for 3 seconds, and then I'd be like, well, I'm fucking going to see that movie.
Exactly.
There's no chance I'm
Directed
not
by
going to see
Sam Raimi.
Sam Raimi,
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, 2022, and you got my money.
Yeah.
Like, you don't
it's the
need
equivalent of like back in the day when like a long
Which was
ago
a Wednesday,
when I
by
used
the
to
way.
watch when I used to watch like wrestling, and they would tell you
these big promos.
this person is coming back at WrestleMania, and I'm like, why would you advertise that? Just have him come back,
surprise me,
and surprise everybody because you'll get a bigger reaction out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I do feel like that whole, ooh, the Illuminati's, we're here to see you. It's like, that shouldn't have been in the trailer. Like, none of that should have been a thing. Like, there's a part where you get in there and he's talking and he's in another universe and she goes, the Baxter Initiative. And I'm sitting there going, Baxter, oh my God, that's the Fantastic Four. Like, that would have gotten me excited. Like, I didn't know about the cameo, so I was excited when I saw him on screen. Aaron knew about it. Still probably exciting to see.
Yeah, it was still
fun.
cool to see because I only saw there's a scene floating around the internet where it's like Mr. Fantastic, Black Bolt, Captain Carter, and they're all standing there.
Yeah.
That's all I saw. So when he's like actually talking, I was like, okay, this is
it's
fucking
neat.
awesome.
And, he comes in on this like little teleporter thing where it's
Which
like
was
you
the
realize.
same as the TVI, whatever the fuck thing is from Loki.
Yes,
So
which
he's
is.
a descendant of King. I know.
Well, yeah.
We're getting really nerdy.
Yeah, it's
Like,
super nerdy. But it's neat that they're
This
kind
is
of
only
world
1%
building.
of my comic books. But
Yeah,
I
I
am
was gonna
highly
say-
educated in the world
I was
of
gonna
Marvel.
say-
Orange
so.
mocha frappuccino.
As someone who
As
helped
you guys
put all
point at
your
each other.
comic books on the shelf, trust me, I understand all your love of whatever. But I enjoyed it. I don't see the hate. I'm excited for a third one. I'm excited for more Marvel. Bring it on. Like, fuck all the haters that want to say, well, they're ruining cinema. No, they're not. Just make
Clea's
good
in
movie.
it now, and now they can fucking jump universes without
yeah.
a fucking issue. So
Oh, good. Let's see.
what else did you watch?
Well, you know what? I want to eat some Kit Kat here real quick.
Are we doing
yeah,
that?
why not? Let's
Okay,
so we're kind
go
of
ahead.
interspersing. We found some snacks after our snack show, and then instead of waiting a month, we're just gonna throw them in here while we're talking about some movies.
So you get snack show and
Snacks
Regular
and
movie
movies.
show.
It's like, you know what? You're watching a movie. You're in the theater. You have to sit here and listen to Aaron eat Reese's Pieces during Doctor Strange 2.
Sorry, I know the box is so
It was
loud.
so loud.
That's all I can think about.
It's all
too.
quiet, and he's like, I'm like, oh my God.
anytime Aaron gets a box candy, it's the loudest fucking
so
thing in the
I
theater.
don't know how. It's not like I'm trying to.
And it's
make
funny
it-
because when they put the plastic with like the candy that does have the plastic, it is the hardest fucking plastic. on
Oh,
the face
it's
of the earth.
military grade.
and it is so audible.
all you can hear is
It's-
the crinkle.
And,
Yeah.
and Aaron wants to eat it at the most quiet times of the movie.
It was so quiet.
was
We're all
so-
watching Doctor Strange.
All
and
you
it's
can
a
hear
back,
is sliding.
It's a backstory. Like, before the movie, we're getting snacks, and there were people in line behind us that were really annoying, and we knew they were going to be in our theater. We knew they were going to cause a problem. They were sitting like one row up from us, and I kept thinking, these motherfuckers are going to ruin it. The entire movie, they were pretty quiet. All I heard was getting Reese's Pieces out of his box.
I'm sorry.
I know. It's just funny. I'm like, oh man, the one person. But
Well-
yeah, we've got a snack. We're gonna.
If we would have went to the Majestic, I could have got the very quiet fucking skillet cookie. So these smell blueberry, but they don't smell like a muffin.
So yes, we've got blueberry. They kind of do. We got blueberry muffin Kit Kats. Instead of waiting about a month to talk about these, we're just gonna kind of throw these in here while we talk. I mean, I'm already kind of apprehensive because in the past the Kit Kats with the weird white chocolate or white goo over the top has always statistically been bad for us. But they
These
smell good.
Blueberry
Tastes
is
like a
phenomenal.
blueberry muffin.
Blueberry is a phenomenal flavor,
Comes
no
through
matter
a lot.
what you put it on.
Oh man, these are good.
I dig these.
Yeah, these are actually really good.
Like the blueberry is muted to the it doesn't come through like super hard, and you can actually taste like the muffin, which I dig.
The muffin.
The muffin man.
The Muffin Man. The Muffin Man!
Who lives on Drury Lane?
That's so good.
These are great.
These are actually really good.
I would buy these every time I went in the store.
Yeah, I found them at Walmart.
We
The only
know.
one I found was like a 12-pack of like the little snack size. I know I've seen them on the internet in the normal Kit Kat packaging, but yeah, these are actually really good.
What I honestly can't wait for is when our snack show does come around.
We have
and we
nothing.
can't find anything because we ate 2 of the
We-
snacks
we ate-
on this
yeah,
show.
Exactly.
But,
Again, we get them now, and then next thing you know, a month later, they're
Right,
like, oh,
you
we've
guys have
seen 'em
already had
everywhere.
them, and yeah, we really wanted to.
That is the one hard thing about the snack show because it's like,
I find so much.
yeah, we
after the
find
snack
stuff
show.
and then we sit on it for a month.
We really do. And I'm drinking the chocolate cream cold brew.
I've heard about that.
It's
Is that
fucking
good?
excellent. I love the vanilla cream.
I heard it's
the
like
chocolate.
almost like a chocolate malt. That's what I've heard described.
I don't consider it. I don't think it tastes like a chocolate malt. I think it tastes like almost like the Tootsie Roll, like a Tootsie Roll, a little
Okay.
bit. But it's really good. It's really fucking good, and it's only 100 more calories than the vanilla cream, which is what I drink every day. So I'm gonna be switching them up. even though I'm not supposed to be drinking
I
caffeine.
was just about to say,
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's
right,
the
the day
ol-
after you
it's-
gave us I can't drink caffeine.
No. What did I say? I said my doctor said I can't drink caffeine for 2 weeks, and death is looking pretty good.
Oh, so you're choosing death?
I'm choosing death.
Okay, cool.
I gave up the greasy and the spicy. Like last night, I had beef and broccoli for dinner. Like
I was wondering about that.
but I can't give up caffeine, dude. Like I will literally die. I get
I would say pull it back. But I think you do it.
horrific. Well, I started drinking Sprite and stuff, but I get horrific caffeine
Oh,
headaches.
it's yeah. That's why I don't stop drinking Monster.
Yeah,
Like the second I go a day without it, I want to rip the doors off my house.
Yeah, so it's just impossible. And I think whatever I have, I'm on the back end of, and I think if I just keep taking this
I
med, I'll
don't know
be
about your
okay.
back end. Anyway,
Anyways, did you see any movies?
yeah, we watched Firestarter. Before I get into that, I give these fucking Kit Kats a 4.
Oh,
Like, I love
yeah,
them. They're
dude,
great.
4, absolutely. Only
same
reason
thing.
they don't get a 5 is because they still get that weird filmy white
do.
chocolatey stuff. But the rest of it is excellent, and actually, I would probably pick these over like a regular Kit Kat.
Well, I kept some, so you can keep these here.
Oh, thanks, buddy. You're the best. I actually have some for you today.
Oh, cool.
Because you give all my junk.
I love his junk.
I'll leave
Yeah,
with my
you-
empty cup.
You don't.
You don't want his junk.
You don't collect movies, so you don't get anything.
I have the Prestige on DVD.
We know. We have the list.
I have it on 4K. So, anyways, yes, we saw Firestarter.
Fucking Firestarter.
one of the
I'd rather
worst-
eat these goldfish than talk about Firestarter.
Absolutely one of the worst films I've ever seen. Just the most lifeless, boring. But if you're like Aaron, Jordan, I have to watch this. I have to see for myself. An incredible Carpenter score. The Carpenter score in it alone is not worth the watch.
no.
But it's worth listening
the score
to.
is great. John Carpenter did collaborate to make the score to this movie, which honestly, you're like
He
you
must
said.
not have watched first.
No, he's like, I'll make it sight unseen.
He's like, I make fantastic music for whatever shit you're putting out.
John Carpenter. Like, I'm not gonna like. You already know I love John Carpenter, but man, this man, he plays video games. He makes movie scores constantly. This man is handling his older years perfectly. Like this, I want to be John Carpenter as I get older. Like, just I want to play video games and make movie scores and just
Same.
watch movies and do
Dude,
shit.
it'd be
Like this
sick to
guy's
make movie
great.
Scores.
I'll be dead.
Yeah, so-
But yeah, I mean,
drinking
Kevin, you're gonna die soon. Yeah, the score is great. The acting is flat. Like I told you yesterday when you asked, like, how would you describe it? It's flat and uninteresting. Like
What-
it is just. It's like they didn't tell Zac Efron anything about this movie.
Zac Efron?
Zac Efron.
Did you say Dak Efron?
No, Zach.
Oh, it sounded like Dak.
No, I don't put D's on random words.
I don't know. Go back. We have the tape. Listen to this tomorrow. It sounded like Dak to me.
But yeah, he is so lifeless in this movie. Like he didn't want to be there. He just woke up every time he delivered his lines. He's so just unemotional about everything.
It really was weird. I was sitting there watching it, and he's like, "No, she has to hide it down deep inside of her stomach, and she can't ever let it out." And the mom's like, "That's not healthy." And he's like, "It doesn't matter. I don't care about her." And I'm like, "What?"
He came back to film this movie after like his series where he was like hiking like
I saw
Mount
that on
Machu Picchu or
yes,
whatever.
Yeah,
did he?
So he was
goes around the
probably-
world and eats food, and
probably
just
super
hangs
tired.
out.
And you know what really sucks? And I keep
Man,
telling,
I'm exhausted.
I keep telling everyone this. I like Zac Efron. I'm rooting for him. Like I want him to go on to do better things. But then he does this, and I'm like, "Bro, what are you doing?"
yeah,
Just do musicals, bro.
Because I honestly thought, no, he was actually in a movie came out earlier this year called Gold.
yes.
Phenomenal. He's good in it. It's not a good movie, but he's good in it. He's really good in it. And then he does this, and I'm like, hold on. What are you doing? Because
Yeah.
you look like shit in this. Like, if I was a casting director and I watched Firestarter, I'd be like, dude, I don't want you near my movie.
Yeah, he is. It's like there's. It's like that line in Jaws where he's got lifeless eyes like a doll's eyes. Like he's just glazed over.
Yeah.
Like he smoked like 5 joints before delivering any one of his
Did you
lines.
watch it, Scott?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's on
That's good.
Peacock
That's good.
or just if you want to.
We were
Dude,
talking.
it's an hour and 30
we were,
minutes.
We were
Please
talking
waste
about it
your hour
because
and 30 minutes.
we were talking about it because you had said you were going to watch Firestarter, and I'm like, well, they just remade an old movie that was a subpar
Yeah,
Yes.
we were
Like
talking
horror
about it after
Yep.
the Coldplay show.
So I was like, why would I want to watch this? It's like, what's the incentive for me to want to sit down and watch this?
I feel, even though the original is not the greatest movie in the world, I feel like the original surpasses this only because I feel like there was life and emotion in it versus...
I never saw the original. I know Drew Barrymore's in it.
I mean, I think like George C. Scott is the main guy for, what was it, the Shop, like their guy. So like it's better. Like I said, they make changes to it. Like, oh no, this guy has bloody noses because his brain's hemorrhaging. Now Zac Efron has to bleed from his eyes, like stigmata or something. I don't know.
It was so weird.
It's.
I also didn't understand the dynamic between the kid and the fucking assassin. Like you killed your mom and then kind of forced your dad to get killed in a way, like roundabout
he felt
way.
bad. I think what had happens is like he's got powers too, so like he's starting to realize he shouldn't be hunting his own kind. Like it's like mutants fighting mutants. Like this is X-Men.
Right, but I know,
but not good.
Her emotion. She's still a teenage, not even a teenage girl, but an adolescent girl. I would still have thought she would light him on fire. Anyways, it doesn't matter. This is all just
I know, but
hyperbole by me. But I did not like that dynamic in any way.
No, and they do change some of the story up. That sequel that they put out that was like a mini series on like NBC, like Firestarter Rekindled, kind of moved on. Yeah, I know, but yeah, it's the problem is I love Stephen King books. He writes a good movie. He writes great characters. His stories almost always fall apart in the last like chapter or two. He never knows how to fucking end a book.
Was there like a whole thing about that? Like,
I'm sure there is.
I thought there was like a movie about that where like you can't.
How he just can't end anything.
Yeah.
Like all his endings suck. The reason why like Shawshank Redemption was good is because people made changes to it. Yeah. The same reason why
The Shining's different.
The Shining is different, and people love The Shining movie, but it's a completely different story in the book.
I heard that both are good in their own
They
way,
are.
but I've always heard that the ending of The Shining in the book is not better, but it's like way different. Like the Overlook blows up.
Yes. The Outlook.
The Outlook Express on the computer.
Right. His email blew up.
He's like, I can't get my emails.
What did you give Firestarter?
Oh, it's a 1.
I gave it a 1 too,
that.
only because of the score.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise,
and that's
a half of star.
I was bored. Like I watched it while I was working yesterday, and I asked you, I was like, "Have you watched Firestarter?" You're like, "No, why?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm only halfway through."
The second you said it,
it felt so long to me.
As soon as he went to bed, because you weren't the only one that told me that it was really bad. My buddy Amir, he also was like, "Dude, don't even waste your time." And I was like, what makes it bad? And like, you couldn't really articulate it, and neither could he. So I was like, okay, I need to experience this for myself.
The only thing I could have said, it was just flat and unemotional. And
you're 100% right.
It's just,
and you have to watch it to understand what that means.
Yeah, the tone is just so like it's just so flatline. Like the score is the only thing that elevates anything about that movie, and it's kind of a bummer that I think it's going to draw people to the theater because people are starved for content and they don't know about Peacock. So people have seen it in the theater and it's going to make a little bit of money, but don't pay for this. Don't ever pay for I condone pirating in this case. If you don't have Peacock and you have a way to find it online, watch it there if you're going to watch it. So. I watched it on Peacock.
I watched, so did I.
It's a 1. It's not good.
I watched Sonic 2 finally. Thought it was okay. It was serviceable. It's all the, paint by numbers. Family is more important than anything.
Yeah, it's a predictable story.
It was cool seeing Supersonic. Like, whatever, man.
Oh, I got real excited about that. My daughter, who doesn't really know a lot about the old Sonic games, and I've got her starting to play them now. She's like, "Oh my god, what is that?" I was like, "It's Supersonic." I'm just like in the theater getting excited.
I couldn't.
Yeah, right. It's
I
JJ
honestly, this might just be me, but I honestly couldn't find myself caring at all. Like I watched it, I thought Jim Carrey once again, as in the first one, the best part of the fucking movie, but I didn't care about Sonic. I could care less about Tails, Knuckles, whatever. I don't care.
I like Knuckles.
So
he was fun.
This is on me. I don't think it's a bad movie in any way. I just personally was just.
I had a good time with it because mainly it was not the theater experience. The theater can go to hell. All the kids and loud yelling. You guys go to hell. But I got to spend time with my daughter and see something, and she was excited and she enjoyed it. So I think my experience level with it was higher.
Yeah, that's completely
It's not the best movie in the world, and it's very paint by numbers, like you said.
Jordan's stands up. God damn it!
Shut up! I'm trying to watch cinema.
I did not come to this kids movie to be fucking ruined by kids.
I did not come to $5 movie night in a fucking bowling alley to be experiencing it this way.
Like I said, my biggest problem with it is it's very predictable, and like the message in it is like something we've seen a million times, and I just didn't
Yeah,
find
it's
anything new.
You're not
from
always
that.
born into a family. Sometimes your family are the people around
exactly.
you. Blah, blah, blah.
And
Yeah,
it's
no,
like
very
Jesus fucking Christ. And it took 2 hours to tell this story, and I was just like, Lord have fucking mercy. But like I said, Jim Carrey is a 10 in it.
Right.
The rest of the movie is a 2, so it's about a 3. But I gave it a 2.5 on Letterboxd. But I like I said, I enjoyed it for what it was. I didn't necessarily find it to be anything special. However, if you're into that kind of stuff, you might like it. But then I did watch a family movie that I think everybody would love, and I really want you to see it. Watch it with Wesley. The Bad Guys. The Bad Guys is fucking a 10, dude. It is so good. Dialogue, story. It's like a Soderbergh Ocean's movie wrapped in like a. I know it said this in the advertisement, but it is very Tarantino-esque, where they're sitting in a diner talking, but it's all like kids related stuff. So it's like, because it is a cartoon, but it's like these animals who are mostly cast as bad guys try to like kind of turn over a new leaf, and then there's a bunch of twists and turns along the way.
Zootopia meets Suicide Squad.
It's actually nothing like Zootopia. I thought it was going to be like that, but
it had that look, definitely.
Yeah, but it is more like Suicide Squad / like an Ocean's film. That's the best way to describe it. It's more Oceans than anything. And I love Ocean's film. And then like Sam Rockwell,
I almost watched
Mark
the third
Maron.
one again the other day.
I love Ocean's films, except for the girl one. The girl one is bad. It's not that I don't like girls. It's just bad movie.
You sexist.
Women movies
But yeah,
suck.
it's a lot of great voice acting.
The cast is great.
The dude from Hamilton's in it.
David
No, not Lafayette, but what's his face? Lawrence.
Oh, okay.
From in the
okay.
Heights and stuff. And then Aquafina is in it, but she's very tame. She's a tarantula. It's funny. And
get out of the way, Spider Woman.
But honestly, I really, if you got kids and there's something and you're just like, oh fuck, I gotta watch a kids movie tonight, I highly recommend putting it on. It's infinitely rewatchable, and just it's a cool, fun kids heist movie with like very good
I'll
dialogue.
watch it. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah.
It's funny because like I want to pay. It's like the movies that I really want to watch, I want to pay attention to. So I can't really throw them on while I'm working, like I did with Firestarter, because I knew Firestarter I wasn't gonna, I'm not gonna be locked into the story that well. So I can just kind of throw it on and kind of pay attention.
Right.
The other night I watched What We Do in the Shadows again.
I've never seen it. I know
Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
It's a very dry New Zealand humor. I think it's hilarious. I love the TV show. The new season starts in July, so I'm going to do a rewatch.
It's on
of
my
that.
watch list. I just haven't gotten around to it.
So ridiculous, and it's funny, and it's the kind of humor I think you would like. And it's just one of those dry, almost like English humor, but it's very New Zealand. It's just it's hard to describe, but it's very fun for me.
I always look over at Scott and think it's hilarious because he doesn't have anything to say. It's like, I watched half of a movie on a Wednesday.
I watched The Lost City. It sucked.
I'm here to produce.
Well, I mean, speaking of Lost City, so what was it? Daniel Radcliffe was the bad guy. You said he was pretty good in it. He's going to be Weird Al in the new Weird Al movie coming out later this year called Weird.
Yeah,
I think that looks fucking fantastic.
Which I don't even understand, which I'm going to just have to pirate. But Roku's putting it
Roku channel. Yeah, a Roku original. I'm like, excuse me?
How do
I'm getting that on soap?
Just for the subject alone, I would check that out.
How do you come up to Harry Potter and you're like, hey, bro, we want you to be Weird Al, which is fine because I think he kills it. He looks exactly like him. But he's like, but it's going to be on Roku. And he's like, sign me up.
Well, I think it's going to be...
Guardian Leviosa.
They probably gave him a nice little contract when he put his name on the dotted line.
Well, I think... Well, he does a lot of these indie movies, and 9 times out of 10, they're all great. Like, I love the way he spun off from doing Harry Potter and kind of have separated himself. It's kind of almost like, what's-his-face from Lord of the Rings.
No one will believe me on this, but fucking Now You See Me 2 is excellent. It is an excellent movie. Watch it. There's a card scene in that is so ridiculously over the top that you can't help but just laugh.
What? Now, the one where they're throwing the cards behind everyone's back and
it's
shit?
so dumb.
I love that movie.
Me too. I do.
I love both of those movies.
Me
Like,
too.
make a third one. They're
I
terrible.
thought they were supposed to.
I don't know. Who knows?
I'm sure they go up to Jesse Eisenberg. He's like,
no.
do you know who I am?
Too cool now.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, no, I think that Weird movie is gonna be fun because Weird Al's like 6'4", Daniel Radcliffe's 5'6", so I think this is definitely just a UHF like sequel.
That's fine with me. I love you.
And I'm completely okay with it.
Yeah.
And it just looks ridiculous. Rainn Wilson plays Dr. Demento, and just it's I can't wait to pirate this movie.
Bring on all the accordions.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a scene in the trailer. Did you watch the trailer?
I haven't seen it. I didn't even know this was coming
Well,
out.
So there's a
it.
scene in the
We'll watch it
trailer,
after this.
and this is the only part I'll ruin of the trailer because it's funny. He's just standing there, kind of looking off in the distance, and there's people behind him. He goes, "Does anyone have a accordion?" And then like 2 accordions come in from the side and 1 from the middle, and I'm just like, "This is ridiculous. I can't wait to watch this movie. Like it looks great."
It's like his fucking his gauntlet, his infinity gauntlet.
Yeah, it's just the accordion. No, it looks great.
I also checked. I got a lot to get to,
That's
but I
fine.
checked out The Secrets of Dumbledore real
I
briefly.
started watching a little
real
bit of it.
briefly. It is incredibly boring.
The first scene was boring, where they're sitting in the restaurant.
Yeah,
I almost fell asleep. It was 5 minutes.
I didn't like it at all. I was skeptical going in, but not because of the whole Johnny Depp situation. I love Mads Mikkelsen, and I love that world, and that world is still cool. But I'm not kidding you; they couldn't have wrote a drier script. And The Secret of Dumbledore isn't even that big of a deal. It's that kid is the fucking son of his brother.
not Albus.
Albador.
Aberforth.
Aberforth, Dumbledore. So the fucking Clarence kid, the kid that's like super powerful, that's played by Ezra Miller. It's just that he's the son of his brother.
Who cares?
And
Who cares?
dude, and then like Mads Mikkelsen is trying to Grindelwald's trying to steal an election by like resurrecting this fucking deer that like can tell whether you're pure of heart or whatever. It is so convoluted and boring. It's like it's the most political kids movie I've ever fucking seen in my life.
Stopped being
Like
kids movies a while ago.
But I was just like, this is ridiculous.
See, I felt that way about that with kind of when they branched off into like Fantastic Beasts because
This
I
is
tried
Fantastic
watching.
Beasts.
Right, but I'm saying I tried watching those and I didn't care for those.
Well, I like that they take place like well before Harry Potter. There's a different, dark wizard, and I like the world. I like the world building. But my problem is, it's like I don't care about Grindelwald trying to steal an election so he could kill all the Muggles, and I don't care that the fucking what's his face Newt is like eccentric and like weird, and it's like that's how he solves all his problems. It just doesn't make any sense. It's like he falls ass backwards into like solving problems, and I'm just like.
He's like the Inspector Clouseau of the Muggle, of the Wizarding World.
The most interesting thing about Secrets of Dumbledore was that was Dumbledore, like Dumbledore himself. It was like kind of cool seeing this like Jude Law, like emotional character that you don't see on the later Harry Potters, where you just think he's like this all-knowing, like super old man, wizard, and he's like crying and he's upset and he's like in danger, and it's like, okay, this is awesome, but then you have it wrapped around this like political, like. We have to steal an election. This is all politics. And it's just like, fuck off. Like, give me, abracadabra fucking shit.
Now you see me 3.
Yeah.
No, I love Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah.
I don't see him in this role, and it's not
He always
because
like
of the
his
Johnny
breath
Depp shit.
smell too.
I just feel like if you had started with him from the beginning, I would have been more into his character. They've changed his character 3 times now in 3 movies. Originally, it was Colin Farrell,
Yes.
and then he morphed into Johnny Depp.
Yes.
Johnny Depp was in the entire second movie. It looked weird. The way they made his character look was weird, knowing what Grindelwald looks later on in the Harry Potter series.
Right.
Like, how do you get from there to there? Plus, Dumbledore's in love with you. You look like fucking street trash. And then, like, now you have to have him be this other person because of all the shit that went on. And it's like, why? Like, just why? Like, it takes me out of it. And I know casting changes
And they
happen
don't
all the time,
address
a lot of
it
stuff.
at all.
No.
They're not even like, hey,
He morphed
That
again.
was my other body. This is my true body or anything. It was just like.
No, they
never
went
they
into
just
it.
moved on.
He's like, I gotta find my hook and replace the heart of Tafiti.
Oh, God, it's going to be The Rock again. But,
He
yeah.
shows up in the 4th movie. I don't know if there's going to be a 4th movie after this one.
There were supposed to be 5.
I know. That's what I was saying.
And this did not do well.
No,
It just
as
pretty
it
much
shouldn't
tanked.
have. And I try to give everything the benefit of the doubt. A lot of the times, I think bad reviews are based on like
The world
whatever's
around
going on around it. With the whole Johnny Depp situation and all that good stuff.
Well, you got Johnny Depp and
then-
Ezra Miller causing issues.
right, and then like lover or hater, like J.K. Rowling is doing her own thing in the background, and all the Harry Potter people are like, "We disown you." So it's like you can't really tell what's to be true or not. You have to see for yourself in these situations. And honestly, like I said, as a huge of a Harry Potter fan I am, and I'll always love Harry Potter, this movie, and I love the first 2 Beast movies, and I know everyone hated the second one.
Was
I know people didn't like it.
I liked it.
It's
For me, it's forgettable. Like, I put it on the other day to watch it before I started this one, like, they literally being like 2 weeks ago. And I'm just like, A, I don't remember a lot of this movie, and B, there's a reason for it. It's just a lot of it's very unforgettable. Like, I feel like the story was convoluted. I thought it was good, but very convoluted.
Well, like I said, just based on the Fantastic Beasts movies.
I like them. I like the first one
I didn't
a
get too
lot.
much into those because, I mean, you go from Harry Potter being a very
I have
kid-centered,
two more movies to talk
you know,
about, and then we can try those.
magical, you know, storyline, and then you go to these where it's like serious and more, you know. And I think it just got kind of lost in the shuffle for me.
And then I did watch. Ooh. I just smell really good.
For those at home, I just distracted Aaron with the new limited edition Goldfish Old Bay seasoning.
Which we're going to try here in a minute.
minute.
But I watched Come and See,
good.
which are not Come and See. I might have talked about this on the other show, but I don't think so. It's called Choose or Die.
You didn't. You and I talked about it because you watched it and you're like, I should have chosen
Dude,
Die.
It's fucking terrible. It's on Netflix, but it's in that horror that I like where it's like this chick who's apparently supposed to be a programmer, but there's no way in hell I believe she is. She winds up finding this game, and it's like you have to choose or die. So like, say you're in like a room, and you're like, it goes, okay, have the waitress eat glass or die.
Oh, it's Saw.
And
Kind of.
and then like you hit like have the waitress eat glass. Then all of a sudden some supernatural force takes control, and then like Robert Englund's voice is like, because you have to call a number in order to activate it, and it's just his voice. But the whole movie, it just doesn't work because the character is so unbelievably bad at what she's doing. And then at the end, it just turns into the stupidest fucking like superhero weird flick of all time. And I wanted to like it so bad. The concept is there, but the execution was terrible. And I'm just thinking it's this Netflix model now where they're like, we have to make every character in our movie the most unlikable character of all time, and then we're gonna build a really fantastic story around it, just like a lot of Netflix releases have been lately. So like Metal Lords and stuff. Like, great concept, terrible characters. Awful characters.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about it, and then I heard they talked about it on Colors of the Dark podcast.
Yes.
And then just the way they described it and the way you talked about it, it's like, I kind of want to skip this. I don't want to watch this.
Yeah, a lot of the horror stuff I get is from that. From that podcast, because we started watching From.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, you know what? We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, I know. We're never going to get to my movie, so
Fuck it.
But From is a TV show. It's produced by the Russo brothers, directed. I think it has a bunch of different directors.
Executive producer of Lost.
Okay, makes a lot
That's
of
why.
sense. Main guy is from Lost.
Harold Perrineau.
Yeah, and it's a horror show
Fucking A.
that's wrapped in like a Lost setting. So the premise is, you are driving along and there's a tree in the road, and you turn around to go back the other way, and you get brought to this town, and no matter how many times you try to drive out of the town, you keep getting put back in the town, and now you're in the town, and you don't know why you're in the town, and you don't get that answer in the first season.
You don't get to go anywhere.
But on top of all that, at night there's these monsters, and they're called monsters. And dude, they fucking kill you. Like, seriously, they rip your guts out and it's disturbing.
The first
and
episode,
torture you.
There's a mom and a girl. The husband gets drunk. He's at their little makeshift bar that they've built in this town. He doesn't get to leave the bar because it's getting dark. If you go out, you're gonna get fucked. So everyone stays in. They have these little weird talismans that they explain later on. So they're in the house, but these creatures come out of the woods and they look like people. And they try to lure you out, or they try to talk to you.
Dude, you got to watch the show.
They go up to this little girl's window and starts knocking. You hear knock, knock, knock. And she go, honey, let me in. It sounds like an old woman. The little girl's like, oh shit, it's grandma. Opens the window, some creepy old woman. Let me in, blah, blah, blah. She opens the window like she's not supposed to. The old woman's face morphs into this weird creature. You only see it for a split second, but I paused it and I kept going frame by frame just to see how fucked up it looked.
You can find it online.
Yeah. And then you don't see what happens next, but the next scene, they go into that house. The mom is laying on the bed. The girl is on the ground, and their guts are gone. They have been ripped open, like something just chewed right through the middle of them, and it shows it. And it is brutal and disgusting and awesome. And
you find out later,
it's amazing.
You find out later that these things actually torture you. They don't just kill you, and they can't come in unless they're invited in, kind of like vampires. But it's if they have the talismans. If they don't have the talismans, they can just get in. But it's a Lost. I think it's, in my opinion, better than Lost because I
Oh,
can
for
never
sure.
get into Lost. But this has a lot of. It sets you up with a ton of questions, answers very few of them, while asking a lot more questions. But you're so invested.
I blew through 10 episodes and it made maybe a day.
Yeah,
like
same.
I just kept going.
My only complaint is that there's gonna come a time when you're watching it where you're like, okay, this is going too far. Like this is too many questions and not enough
You gotta rein
answers.
it back a bit.
And then you got to rein, but it kind of evens itself out. Takes away some people, adds some people. You'll see.
They do some flashbacks of like some of the people got to the town.
Just the sheriff, I think.
They did that flashback of
And then the priest, maybe?
no,
not the priest.
Not so much the priest. The guy with the lunchbox. They show him as a kid.
Yeah,
and he comes
yeah,
out of
yeah.
the bunker.
But not how he got there.
No, but
So-
like it is.
Scott, you have to
would
check it
love
out.
this.
You would love it, dude.
First 3
And
episodes
it's-
are free on Amazon Prime. So if you got Amazon Prime, you can watch
Yeah.
the first 3 episodes,
You can use my Amazon.
Sure, I can find it.
and
I'm
then
sure you
it's
can,
on
too.
Epix.
I have Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's only the first 3 episodes.
Yeah,
what I'm
Epix
saying
is the one that has
I
the
got
rest.
Epix just so I could watch the rest, so you could use it if you'd like.
Please
but
do. It's really good.
yeah. So, last but not least, the last movie I want to talk about before we get to my movie, and this I'm 5 seconds, just in case anybody's wondering.
12 hours later.
We're we're all going to the World's Fair. I lied to you because I had heard it was amazing, so I hadn't watched it yet, and I watched it last night. It's an hour and 25 minutes. I wanted to like this movie so bad.
So you told me that you have to watch it. It's amazing, and then you hadn't even watched it.
Correct. I was right in the middle of it.
Literally the premise of
So
the show.
have you
and
ever
just
seen?
lied to
Have
me.
you ever seen 8th Grade?
Yes.
So
long
it,
time ago.
it is a movie about like coming of age story about a girl, and she's trying to be cool on the internet. It's one of those things where it's like, do this challenge, and then it's all creepy. I think they actually had something like this on the internet a couple years ago, where it was like
It was like Slender Man and all these stupid.
Yeah,
fucking-
and it's like, I want to go to the World's Fair, and then you have a video of you like hurting yourself, and then you're entered into this thing, and then it's all these weird challenges. But it's more about this like creepy pedophile guy that kind of stalks this like chick that's trying to like find herself. It's only an hour and 25 minutes. It never fully kind of realizes its potential. People are giving it like 5s on fucking Letterboxd, and
Must be good.
I could not
cannot
figure it out.
Trust you anymore.
No,
Like,
no,
you
that was
ruined
just
it.
No, I'm sorry.
See
No,
this
I'm
table?
honest.
This is the circle
I'm
of trust.
honest. I'm being honest.
You're out here now.
You're in the pile of junk.
Anyways. All right, cool. So
Please watch this movie. It's amazing.
I didn't say
Didn't
that.
even watch it.
I know.
I know.
But
I don't
did
know
watch
what
it.
you said. It was
I
all
did-
jumbled mess. I
I
couldn't
do.
understand.
I
your
did
sentence.
watch it though. I did watch it. I finished it. It was fine.
Bummer.
It's just nothing important. You want to try those and then get
Yeah,
into,
let's try
okay.
this. We got the new Goldfish Old Bay seasoned crackers, limited edition, just came out. I'm gonna do this real quick. Give me some, and then I'm gonna give Scott some because
I'm just gonna
Aaron's
eat
got
the
his
whole
hands
bag.
out open.
I'm gonna eat the whole bag before Aaron gets it.
Yeah, like I said, we wanted to get to some of these stuff while they're fresh and new. Who knows what the
So
landscape
you are
will
getting-
look enough
Smell
to
great.
be.
You are getting an
They smell-
oversized movie show.
Oh, yeah.
And
Done.
a snack show.
Fuck, these are
I'm
good.
buying another case.
I'm gonna buy more.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, I'm taking these home. I'm sorry.
These are a 5.
I just gotta find them.
Like I said, I know where they are. If you can't find them locally for you, I'll grab some. local.
Goldfish are already amazing as they sit.
I say local. I'm like 40 minutes away.
I know.
It's a whole nother world. Damn it, these are good.
5.
They're not
Yeah.
overbearing. You got the Old Bay taste without it being just too in your face. Like, these are great. 5. Shit.
Goldfish, if you're listening, these
Make
need to be a regular.
Yeah, don't
on the
limit
shelf.
it. Holy shit, these are good.
Wow.
These may be my go-to goldfish
Yeah.
from now on. I think these are actually so flavorful enough where like my kids might actually like them without like, oh, it's too spicy. No, these are just good.
There's nothing spicy about them.
No, I know, but my kids don't.
They're like seasoned perfectly.
Yeah, they're not overly done. You could see the seasoning on each fish. You still get that cheddar goldfish taste, but it's so underneath that Old Bay flavor.
Old Blaze.
That Michael Bay flavor.
Those chips that we had that had the Old Bay on it,
These are
these are far superior.
remind me of the cheese curls too.
Mm-hmm.
Like these are just good. Holy shit. 5s all around.
Yep.
Damn it.
Holy shit.
This is my new favorite goldfish. Damn it. All right.
Let's pick up a couple of those.
Goldfish. Look at you. All right. Shit.
Knocking it down the
I'm
park.
not going to lie. I'm glad we didn't wait a month for that.
Me too.
Oh.
That was the first thing that. So when I shared that, And they were like, "Oh yeah, they're supposedly at Target or whatever." And I'm like, "Man, if I find these, how am I going to wait?"
Yeah.
3 weeks.
Well,
You
when I
sent
showed
me
him the picture, and he's like, "God, I don't want to wait 3 weeks." I'm like, "Well, we can maybe do like TikTok."
Fuck that.
Fuck, I'm
I'm
doing
glad
the
how
show.
we did it. Like the way we did it.
Fuck, that's good. All right, Goldfish, 5 out of 5. Fuck, and you know what? Blueberry Kit Kat, 4 out of. We gave it 4s, man. Good snacks.
Two great snacks.
We're gonna have shitty snack show next time.
Yeah, we are.
All gonna be really bad shrimp chips or something.
I like shrimp chips.
We're going to be like, "Hey, we have these hot cheddar LeBron James fucking ruffles."
You know,
I already did those.
yeah, the sour cream and those weren't that bad.
All right, now actually getting to the show part of the show. I chose this week's movie, and this is 1995's Living in Oblivion.
Lock it up. Okay, here we go. And roll sound.
Nick Rev is making a movie.
Action.
He's wonderful, isn't he?
It's something most of us only dream of doing.
How'd you get into cinematography?
No, I'm directing this movie.
How'd you get into directing?
But for Nick,
Hey, Bob! Hey, Bob! Rolling.
the dream
Cut! Do I have to do everything myself here?
is becoming a nightmare
What is your name anyway?
because he's fallen in love with his leading lady,
Don't you dare tell me that felt fake.
who's been waking up with his star.
You and I slept together last night.
So one time.
Deal. You know it. I know it.
Who's dating the producer,
Because you're not afraid of my power.
Oh, God. I love your power.
who's cheating on the cameraman,
Give me a hug.
Nick, I need to talk to you for a minute.
What?
It's pretty heavy.
which is disturbing the dwarf
Hi. Toto, is it?
Tito.
and confusing the crew, which is not helping Nick
Is everybody hurt? Is anybody okay? Corey, are you all right?
to have a nice day.
Clear the set.
Steve Buscemi,
I freak out in your dream. I freak out in my dream. No wonder I'm exhausted.
Sounds kind of like an identity crisis.
Catherine Keener,
Nick,
Yeah.
nothing.
Dermot Mulroney,
Hey, that's my Eyepatch!
Can I borrow it, Wolf? Nick, it just feels right.
James LaGrosse,
I play a sexy serial killer that shacks up with Winona Ryder.
in a love story filmed somewhere between fantasy,
I can walk through just about anything, like air.
reality,
I think you could see I'm under a little pressure here.
and oblivion.
Living in Oblivion, scene 6, take 1, let's do that!
Kiss my ass!
Yeah! Right, now we're making a movie!
Living in Oblivion, the new film by Tom DiCillo.
You know, the only reason I took a part in this movie is because someone said that you were tight with Quentin Tarantino.
It's directed by Tom DiCillo, starring Steve Buscemi, Catherine Keener, Dermot
Mulroney.
I know Dermot Mulroney.
Dermot.
Peter Dinklage. What's that guy's name? It's gonna bother me.
What?
The dude, he's like in The Departed. He plays Leonardo DiCaprio's cousin. That's not what he's known for. He was in Grounded for Life.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he's in everything.
He really is.
He shows
in
up. He was.
everything.
I just watched him. I did a rewatch of the show Community. He's in that too.
Yeah, he is in literally everything. I'm gonna look it up real fast. You guys go ahead and vamp.
Nope.
Okay, that's fine. Dead air.
No, he. That wasn't Michelle No. Yeah, I can't remember his name. He just shows up in things, and like when he showed up on screen, I was like, I know that guy. Wearing
Yeah.
big old dumb glasses, got a fucked up haircut. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm just gonna kind of jump ahead a little bit. This movie for me is a tale of two halves, where the first 25 minutes I hated, and I wanted to be very upset at you for picking this movie.
Kevin Corrigan is his
Kevin
name.
Corrigan, and then it shifted tone for me, and I ended up enjoying it more than I originally started with.
Okay, that's fine. I thought the first half of this movie was fucking hilarious.
I know you did.
I was honestly laughing my ass off at all the stuff that was going on screen. Like every take of the film that they were trying to make was getting ruined.
No, that situation was uncomfortable but funny. Yes,
Yeah.
I understand that.
And I liked that it was going back and forth between black and white. Like the
That I liked.
You did, yeah, you did like that.
I liked that, and then halfway through it, they shift it. So like when
Yeah.
they were filming, it was black and white, but the rest of it was color. I liked that.
Well, because they were both dream sequences, which was really smart. What, you didn't like that?
The whole fucking thing was like a dream
you do,
sequence.
you did 3 dream sequences in a 90-minute movie.
Yeah,
That bummed
that
me
was-
the fuck out.
That was the joke.
I don't like that. Because then it's like, what the hell happened?
Yeah,
Like, I don't
clearly
care.
it's over your head.
Clearly, it went
you
over my
just
fucking
sit
head.
over there because I already know how you feel about this movie. So as I was explaining to Scott last night, after he told me how much he hated this movie,
I didn't think you'd like it either.
This was awesome. This was Clerks. This was a Clerks on a film set.
I'd rather see Clerks.
I thought it was just as good, man. I thought
that's the first thing I thought of when they were filming this, because I was like, oh,
the beginning where it's like
this
it's
is
black
Clerks.
and white, grainy, and then they show the sign for a little bit about the milk or
Yeah,
whatever.
but the
and
way
then
they
kept
filmed
doing
it-
it, and I'm like, oh no.
The way
this
they
is like a
filmed it, though,
Clerks
I was
ripoff.
like, oh, they're filming this on the Fisher Price Pixel Vision, because it's like
Game
it
Boy-
was like
Game Boy
your-
camera.
Yeah, it was like your first video camera as a kid. It's like it was that grainy, that super
So just like
choppy
Clerks.
look.
Okay.
Yeah, but Clerks is a better movie because it's better executed.
I
and
disagree.
it's got better.
I think
subject matter.
they can both exist and they're both fine. They're
See,
both
for-
really good.
See,
actually.
for me, this is my
but you're
this
an
is-
idiot.
This
so.
is my Sonic for you.
Okay.
I thought it was good. I thought it was okay. I didn't get it. Like for me, it just wasn't. Like it didn't hit as hard as some of the other '90s movies.
Here's the thing. I love films that are based around making film. Like anything that shows you how the sausage is made.
I mean, his favorite movie is Urban Legend 2.
Yeah.
No.
It's all about
but that's what I
movie
told
making.
you when you said, "Did you like this movie?" Because I watched this movie first out of like all. Of
Yes,
this.
and I
you
talked
had
to you
asked
about
me,
it on Coldplay.
And I said, this is a very niche film. I said, if you are in the film industry and you,
I'm not in the film industry, but I
No, I'm just
enjoy
saying,
watching how the.
fucking let me finish.
Oh my god.
I said, if you're in the film industry, you watch movies, you're into that type of genre, that whole thing, you're probably going to enjoy this movie a lot better. For somebody who is like me, who is kind of a
Casual
watcher, a lot of the jokes just didn't hit me as hard. Like I didn't find myself laughing at a lot of them. I actually
did.
found myself to be fucking annoyed that the fact that they had to keep doing fucking takes, because I
No,
was
that was
like, I go,
awesome. That was
Jesus
funny.
Christ, again,
Right, and I think that's the joke, and that's why it becomes very uncomfortable. But
it gets played out so fucking quick for me.
I disagree.
because that's literally the theme of the entire movie. Like
Yes.
start to finish, it's this guy can't complete a take, no matter what take it is. The first 25 movies is one take where they're trying to be emotional. They can't get it right. Shit keeps happening. He fucking goes insane, and then guess what? Dream sequence. So it's like, okay, I get it. Okay, the anxiety. I understand the whole black and white and color thing. That makes a lot more sense. Very artsy. Cool. Then they do a whole nother, 25, 30 minutes, and it gets super uncomfortable with the main actor and her, and they're trying to do this stuff. And I found some of that stuff really funny because he's like, you know what, maybe I should do it this way. And like, I want to show my head. And then at one point, like, he's playing with her hair, and I'm like, she's going to fucking be pissed. And like, he's covering her face, and he's like such an asshole. And it's like, okay. And then guess what? Boom. That was a dream sequence. And I'm like, motherfucker, what the hell is this movie about at this point? Like, they're just all upset to the point where the third act, I thought was going to end as a dream sequence, and I was just going to throw my remote at the TV. I was so mad.
But the joke was that they were
They were
filming,
filming a dream sequence, and it's like, okay. And then Peter Dinklage is in it, and it's.
But
like,
I think at that point, like, I had lost it in the movie because I was so like, oh, another fucking Jesus
Dude,
Christ.
when
Right.
Peter Dinklage,
So I didn't give it his fucking.
holding
he
an apple.
refuses to laugh.
I
and
don't
then,
understand
And I
why.
was like, why isn't he laughing? And then he goes, why do you want me to laugh? And he gives that whole monologue. He's like,
About,
I
why
don't
does it have
even
to be a
dream
dwarf?
about dwarves. And he walks off set. I was laughing so hard. Kim was like, why are you laughing at? I'm like, this movie.
It's funny.
That's exactly how I was. I was just kind of like, okay,
I
he
found-
is Peter Dinklage
No,
playing every
no.
fucking
She
Peter
wasn't
Dinklage
watching the movie. She was.
character. Yeah, but
she
I'm just
heard
saying,
me laughing.
it probably would have been her sitting there going, "Why are you fucking laughing at this?"
No,
It's not
because
funny."
this is his first this was his,
His
first
first
role,
credited role, yeah.
because he didn't want to be typecasted as a
Elf
as
or
a dwarf and all
Right.
that stuff. So that's actually like pretty meta that he gives that whole speech at the end and then walks off set.
He's like, why does the dream sequence have to have a dwarf?
Yeah.
I don't dream about dwarfs. Why would you dream about dwarves? Do you think because a dwarf's in it, it makes it a dream sequence and
Right.
it's funny to you?
Yeah.
He's like, won't laugh. No one, like the little subtle joke in there is that no one wants to say the word little or big to this
Right,
guy because
yeah.
they don't want to offend
And
him.
she keeps calling
Be
him
like, you
Toto.
just laughed a little, and then he pulls back and he's like, or a lot. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, some of
See,
it's really
it's actually
kinda funny.
it's more interesting to hear me or to hear you guys talking about it
Then to watch
because
it.
it sounds funnier with you guys talking about it than it was for me to watch it.
Dude, it was
and
hilarious.
I can understand that because, like I said, the first 25 minutes, I'm sitting there going, "Is this going to be the whole movie?"
I think I just got lost. I got lost in the beginning.
See,
and I just couldn't
that
get
whole
back.
first 25 minutes of the movie established as like the Clerks, where he's just like, hey, the Death Star guys know that they're, they know what they're getting into. And I like that whole like conversation between like the camera guy and the sound
Wolf.
guy.
Wolf was one of my favorite
Dermot
fucking
Mulroney
characters.
with the fucking eye patch. He's like, where's my eye patch?
The other guy has it on. I'm like, oh, fucking A. I thought some of the, I feel like the first part was, God, it's hard to describe. I was upset at it, but then there was things about it that I really started to enjoy where like, the one time they get a perfect take and they're emotional and acting and all the lines,
and
the fucking cameraman's throwing up the bad milk.
Yeah.
I'm like, fucking goddamn.
That was a total Clerks thing. That is a total Clerks thing.
Yeah, I don't, dude, like I said, I don't know. Like, you were asking me if it was headspace, and I don't know, man, because like I went into this movie in a good headspace. Like, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to watch this movie while I'm fresh. And like I said, I got so lost in the first, like, 45 minutes of this movie that I don't know if I just couldn't wrangle myself back into it because I was watching it alone, and I don't find myself, like, laughing out loud when I'm watching a movie alone. It has to be something really funny to get me to, like, audibly laugh.
Right.
But I just didn't find myself, like, I was just sitting there, like, this is, like I'm just
hurry up.
not, like, I just don't get it, man. I'm like, it just... There's so many other 90s movies that, like I said, I thought about Clerks, and I'm like, Clerks is such a better executed movie with the lineage and the dialogue and stuff.
I feel like this can exist on the exact same plane.
And I don't know. I just, like, for me, maybe I was comparing it to Clerks.
It could have been.
And I just couldn't. I couldn't wrangle it in, man. It was like I said, after they went through the whole thing and they kept fucking up and I'm like, Jesus, they fucked up the scene again. And it wasn't, like, funny. And then it was a dream sequence. And then they did it again.
Funny,
and then it was a dream sequence. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. I go, they just keep repeating the same fucking joke.
Right.
To try to get the same point across. And I just, like I said, I just couldn't reel myself back into it at that point.
I feel like if that movie would have stayed black and white the whole time, I would have hated this movie. Because I would have felt like they tried too hard to emulate what everyone tried to be artsy in the 90s for. And that's why I think... when they shifted back to color and then they were doing the tone shift and things like that, I enjoyed that. I thought that was actually a really smart move.
I think the joke was, and I mean, even the old lady says it in the movie, is like, this is the last time I do an indie film. It was either making fun of indie films or it was a satire of itself, because this was actually an indie film directed by this guy. He didn't even
pay the actors.
Yeah, he asked them if they wanted to do it.
And they're
for
like,
free.
sure, but we're only going to give you 10% because almost everybody in this movie, except for like Buscemi, acted like shit. Like, I think the acting was really bad in a lot of points.
Oh, I didn't.
I thought Dermot Mulroney was good, but I think there were parts where he was overacting, almost like soap opera acting, where he's just like looks off into the distance wearing his eye patch, and he's very over the top. I understand,
and
but like these people don't exist in real life.
Yeah, that
like, just
almost reminded me of like The Room.
Yeah.
You know, the acting.
Well,
maybe.
Like, I think a lot of the stuff that you're criticizing is the point of the entire film. Like, yeah, it was meant to be overact. It was meant to be like that the whole time. Like the dumbass gaffer guy who's like at the end where he's dreaming about just having a fucking hamburger. Dude, shit was so funny.
There was things about it that were funny, but I think for people like you and me who find some of that stuff funny, it's not going to translate well with a wider audience. And
I guess, man,
it just
because
won't.
I tell you right now, if I had. When I worked for Hollywood Video, I was told to watch this movie 100 million times to the point where it was like, I don't want to watch it. Like, no, I'm not going to watch it. And then I heard somebody else talk about it, and I was like, okay, fine. I'm old enough now that I can finally watch it without people breathing down my neck. If I would have watched this when I was working at Hollywood Video, I would have fucking watched it every night for 2 months.
Right.
The same way I did Clerks. I think that I would have put it on in Hollywood Video, like after hours or whatever. I just think that if you were like, you know, these old 90s comedies where you're like, well, which would you rather watch, this or this? This would have fallen into my regular category. I just think it's a well done fucking comedy from the 90s.
Speaking of Hollywood, just to interject real quick, the one thing I did watch this week, I forgot to tell you, the last Blockbuster.
Oh, cool.
And now I want to go. We should go to Oregon.
Down.
Anyway, okay.
We have free flights.
Just throwing that out there. I need to go to Blockbuster again. Anyway, but yeah,
we'll talk about it after the show.
I feel like I got the jokes. I understood the movie. Like I said, if they would have kept it that one tone from beginning to end, I probably would have liked it less. I think once it shifted everything, and then after that first dream sequence, I was like, okay, cool. What the hell was with the fucking armpit hair?
That was weird. I did think that was weird, but
pointless.
Whatever.
But I don't know why it's there. I don't need it.
Sell it.
I'm sorry.
eBay shop.
Hey man,
I'm progressive as all hell, but fucking shave your armpits, you gross monsters.
No. Come after Jordan.
Yeah, come after me. Fucking shave your armpits. God damn it. It's a gross. Like, I don't like it. Jordan, come at me. jinxronan@gmail.com. But I did like the movie. Like, I'm not going to say I hated the movie. I felt like when I started watching it, my opinion of it was very low. I was like, oh, I kind of don't want to watch this. I was very kind of just like, oh, they're trying to be Clerks. I hate trying to make the comparison, but it's going to be there. Clerks is an all-time favorite movie of mine, and anything that happens after or anything that I've seen after that feels like it emulates it really bums me out, and it's hard to get past it until the movie finished, and I'm like, man, I actually really enjoyed that more than I started. And it's very rare that carries on that way, because most of the time, if I'm starting to really hate something 25 minutes in, there's no chance the rest of the movie is going to be great for me. And I'm gonna rate this higher than I probably would have if I had just seen that first part.
My thing is I like movies that copy other movies, because that's how you get a genre. Like, you know what I mean?
I understand.
And I like this genre. It's like a hangout movie with like.
This feels like it could have been a Ben Stiller movie, like a Reality
Yeah.
Bites, or just like one of those '90s like Ethan Hawke movies, or something like that.
And that's what. And I don't think it was trying to emulate Clerks, because Clerks
I
came out the
understand that.
following year, so it's no way they could have Kevin Smith. They could have read it and been like, okay, we're going to do our own.
But I saw Clerks first. Like,
Right,
that's what that's the lens I'm looking at it in.
Yeah, and
is
I
that
totally
it's
get
just,
that.
That's my thing.
And that's why I'm saying they can exist on the same plane, because I think both movies have their own. Like, this is about making film. This is about working in a convenience store. Well, we don't know anything about making film, but this is funny because we watch a lot of movies and we can understand this. LaGrosse was actually supposed to be played by Brad Pitt, but he wound up
that's what I
doing
heard.
Legends of the Fall, and then I guess LaGrosse was at a movie previous to this movie where the guy was overacting, and he decided to
such a fucking asshole in this movie too.
Like,
I'm watching him
mimic his
fuck up
character
every
after-
take.
Yeah,
it's like he's not here.
What if I just laid on the bed? Well, didn't you be filming the back of my head? That doesn't work,
right? But and you won't see my face. What do you need? A good take or my face? And it's like, I thought we can get both, but hey, maybe I'm just a fucking director.
Yeah,
like he was so frustrated, but wanted to placate their feelings about
and
it.
I like that, because he's like, well, we'll light the floor, like we'll try to make this work. And I feel like I've seen enough movies where that has happened that I'm just like, all I can think about is like, this must be how it goes. Like, it's so funny to me,
because he wants to get a one shot. He wants to get it, and then he's like, everyone's like, well, why don't we just do a cutaway? We'll do alternate takes. We'll
Honestly,
get her face. We'll get her face, and it's like, and he's just like, fuck, I don't want to do that. I have a vision,
Right.
And I loved Wolf because he's like, this would be better as a handheld.
Yep.
This would be better, and then like it finally happens. Like, I really, for some reason, I don't know why I really like this scene. He's sitting next to the old lady. Steve Buscemi's mom, I guess, is like senile and lives in an old woman's home, and leaves the home and ends up at the place fucking comically. And she's sitting there, and Wolf, Dermot Mulroney's character, sits down next to her. He just got broken up with by like the producer, and he's sitting there, and he's got like one tear coming down his eye, and he's wearing an eye patch.
Production assistant.
Whatever. Fucking her. She was wearing a Troll Doll t-shirt.
It was awesome.
And so he's got one tear coming down his cheek, and the old woman lifts his eye patch, and then the other one escapes. And I was like, this is so fucking stupid.
I laughed at that part.
That one I
that
laughed
was
at.
one of the parts that I actually thought was kind of funny.
I was like,
the
oh,
tear under the eye patch.
It was just waiting, and then he just let it out.
That gave me a little bit of a chuckle where I
When,
it was kind of
come on, man. When he's wearing the eye patch at the beginning, because he's like, my
He's
eye
like,
hurts.
"Where's my eye
And then
patch?"
he turns around, he's like, where's my eye patch? And then LaGrosse turns around and he has it on.
He's like,
and
it works.
He's like, why are you wearing the eye patch? That's unsanitary. He's like, I want an eye patch for this scene.
I'll pay for
it myself.
He's like, what the hell? Yeah, it's I think it's funny, and I think there was one joke in it that I found really funny. Is he goes, the only reason I took this movie is because I heard you were close with Quentin Tarantino, which is funny because Buscemi was in Reservoir Dogs like literally like the year before, and it's just like little things that I really started to enjoy as the movie progressed. So again, my initial feeling of it is definitely miles apart from how I felt when it ended, and it's not me shitting on the movie. I just feel like for me there was a progression in my outlook of it, and I'll rate it higher than I would.
What did you give it, Scott?
No, so here I think this is the first movie I think we've done that perfectly describes us as a trio.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's you
really
two,
does separate us.
Yeah, it's you two just loving this movie, and then me thinking like, oh man, I'm gonna be the asshole here because I'm fucking Joe asshole, and I'm gonna give it the shitty fucking review. Again, there was things that like I liked about the movie. Again, maybe headspace. I just don't think I was in a bad headspace when I watched it. I just comparing it to like a Clerks movie, I just felt like I was like, man, Clerks is such a better movie. And the jokes just kind of didn't hit me at the time. This is probably going to be one of those ones where I will go back and revisit just to see if
no, that's fine.
Tomorrow.
Just to see.
No, not this close.
Just to see if I can bring it closer to where you guys thought this movie of. For me, in the time that I watched this movie, it was a 2 for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what?
And again, like I said, it just
no,
again, like Jordan was saying, it was that first part of the movie that just really, I think, lost me, and I just couldn't really draw myself back into it because then I felt like I was almost forcing myself to watch the rest of the movie, and I don't know if it pissed me off, and I felt angered, and I wasn't gonna laugh at anything because of that. I don't know, man. I just think this is one of those movies that this is the movie that separates all of us, as this is the perfect example of movie for the show.
I think this does separate what people would consider themselves as a cinephile versus a casual movie watcher. Right. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm like with Aaron, where I like the ins and outs of movie making, the meat and potatoes, if you will.
Yeah, I love
and
watching
some of that. Just watching it break down and get totally wrecked by just the dumbest things. Like, oh, I was rolling sound, but guess what? I heard a fucking car in the background, and now we're fucked. Like, I like little things like that. Or at the end, when they finally get the take, everyone's happy. He's like, I got to get 30 seconds to roll sound. And you get dream sequence 4 because you get the first dream sequence, you get her dream sequence, you get the filming of a dream sequence, and then you got the daydreaming sequence when they're trying to take 30 seconds of just absolute silence and everyone's trying to think of what's going on. I honestly, it almost made me mad. Like, I was happy, I was enjoying the movie, and it almost really pissed me off when they did the 30 seconds of silence and they're doing, and the award for greatest movie ever made by another human being is, and I'm like, oh fuck, was this a dream sequence too? I was almost pissed. And I was like, I understand a daydream, that's fine, but if you would have done 3 dream sequences in a 90-minute span and none of it mattered, I would have been very upset. I was already kind of just upset that they did 2 of them.
That's exactly where I was, man.
But I like the movie. I definitely enjoyed it a lot more than I initially started with. I will rewatch this again, maybe not soon, but I will revisit this just in a different place. I liked it. It's around a 3 for me. Like, I think it's better than half. It's not the best movie in the world, but I actually really enjoyed it more than I thought.
Okay. If Clerks is a 5, this is a 4 because Clerks is a 5 and it's infinitely rewatchable and it's infinitely quotable. I don't think this is as quotable, but I still think this is funny. I still think this is fun to watch. I would absolutely put this on in the background. It's not a perfect film. The dream sequences are kind of annoying in the sense that they're dream sequences, but I still enjoy watching anything that has to do with movies. But I loved it. I absolutely think it's a great film, and I would, if somebody was like, should I watch this or Clerks? I'd be like, watch both, and at this, maybe a double feature, because this would work great as like a double feature. I loved it, so I'm pretty excited about.
I almost
my pick.
feel like after the first dream sequence, the rest of the movie should have been real, and it just shows that his anxiety manifested itself into a way where everything kept fucking up. I mean, I know it did when he was trying to do the whole Peter Dinklage thing, so it really was everyone's craziness kind of manifesting, but I think after that first dream sequence, you could have been like, okay, I'm good, and then the rest of the movie should have been it. Having 2 really threw me off, but I mean, I say, watch it, especially if you love movies. Like, I think a casual watcher like Scott may not be the movie for you.
So my favorite movie of all time, as we sit here, would be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I saw it the first time I saw it, it wasn't immediately my favorite movie of all time. And same with Clerks. I didn't think Clerks, when I first saw Clerks, I knew I loved it, but it wasn't anywhere in my like top 10 list. I was like, oh, this is a fun movie. But as I rewatched it, it got better and better. And I think Living in Oblivion can only get better and better as I watch it. Because I love Buscemi. I love Moroni. I love What's-Her-Face.
I think it's the Buscemi we got with Airheads. Same haircut, same look. It's like he walked off of Airheads and immediately started either filming this or vice versa. And I'm just like,
and that's the vibe he throws out
a little bit.
Is Airheads,
very
and I was
frantic,
kind of thinking, okay,
upset.
am I going to get like an Airheads vibe from this? And like I said, I think maybe my expectations were just out up front, and it just didn't hit my expectation. I don't know. You know, I mean, it's
fine.
We'll see.
It definitely was
really
funny
don't
to
mind
see
that
like
you
they were
hated
making.
it. I just wish
I didn't hate.
I wish
it.
you would.
Didn't feel like it lived up to where I wanted it to be.
You don't always have to do this, and I get like you're busy and stuff like that, but I feel like sometimes we should watch movies together just so we can like kind of bounce them off of each other. And I don't want anything to ever taint your score, but you know what I mean? Like when we sit down and watch movies together and then we kind of discuss them afterwards before we bring it to the show, I think that it's better that way. But
I think Cockfighter definitely had a better vibe to it when we watched that and then talked about it, because it was very fresh. We were all hopped up on whatever, and we were excited. And
I'm not even saying we had to do that for everything, but just with Scott, it just seems like
we very well could be, you know, because like I said, when I'm sitting at home, I'm just sitting there watching a movie. And I mean, because I saw Clerks in the theater. And I went with my buddies to go.
I'm
see
so
Clerks.
jealous.
I went with my buddies to go see it, and we laughed at like, oh yeah, 36 dicks, or the
37.
She finds the old man dead in the fucking
in a
bathroom,
row.
So shit like that. We were like, that's fucking funny shit.
The first time I saw Clerks is I found
Hollywood Video.
No, I found my senior year of high school, I found a VHS copy
in the woods next to the porno mags
at a Walmart, like one of those Walmart bins that just had the bins of VHSs in them, and it was $9.99. And I purchased it. I went home and I watched it, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?
Where have I been?"
Yeah,
but I also worked, and this is again. I worked in retail.
Yeah,
I worked in grocery stores,
and that's the thing. It feels closer to you.
It was closer to me with the guy sitting there counting, looking through the fucking eggs on the floor and shit. I was like, I was like, oh, that's funny. The film stuff just didn't because, like I said, I'm not a deep diver into films like you guys are, so it probably just didn't touch me the right way that you do.
Yeah,
I'll touch you any way you want. All right, so what are we watching next week? And all I can say is, like, Jordan does this thing where he's like, I have to keep it a secret.
This one.
So when you pick this and I have seen it, I'm going to laugh at you.
He's getting riled up.
Nope. You haven't seen this. I can almost guarantee, just knowing your collection, what you have watched.
I've seen it?
Oh, it'll be funny.
That would be hilarious.
If
you've seen it, but we haven't, we're still watching.
If this backfires on you,
we're leaving it in, and I'll pick something else.
Oh,
but
no. You don't have to pick anything else. We'll watch whatever
I have a backup.
We're watching it. We're watching it.
All right. I feel like throughout our shows, I've tried to examine kind of the genres that we've visited. We've done some war movies, a couple that get mad at me about. We've done westerns, we've done some of the indie flicks, some comedies, some very drama. We've hit foreign films. I feel when we talk about Quentin Tarantino, we're missing a genre of film that I feel definitely influences him.
Oh, we're watching 70s porn.
Ooh.
I
think we ignore something that I think does influence Tarantino and some of these other directors that we really enjoy. So I decided to go a little bit of a dive here. We're going to go to 1975's Dolomite.
Damn, look like my women is on time. Babe, I could sure warm you up.
No shit, baby.
I can dig it. Dolomite is my name, and fucking up motherfuckers is my game. Breathing down your neck. Damn! Girl, this motherfucker's got rhythm, haven't you? I've got an all-girl army that knows what to do. They'll box as hell and practice kung fu. I put my finger in the ground and turn the whole world around.
You know, you're still the best man that I know in bed. I'm waiting for Dolomite.
For who? Dolomite, motherfucker. You. And tell him I want him out of here in 24 hours. And 23 of them are already gone. God damn, Mama, this sure is a spooky joint. Yes, I'm Dolomite. I'm the one that killed Monday and whooped Tuesday and put Wednesday in the hospital. Called up Thursday to tell Friday not to bury Saturday on Sunday. I'm the one that had the elephants roosting in trees and all the ants wearing BVDs. From the first to the last, I give them the blast so fast that their life is past before their ass has even hit the grass. See me, uptown, downtown, crowned and renowned. Delayed, relayed, mislaid, and parlayed. Hatch, match, snatched, and scratched. Whack, jack, smack, crack, boot black, blackjack, racetrack, and flapjack, and still coming back. If you crave satisfaction, this is the place to find that action. Coming to this theater as this next attraction is the picture that will put you in traction. Dolomite.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen this.
See?
Yeah.
This, I've been wanting to
we're
watch.
watching exploitation.
We're watching a blaxploitation movie.
Okay.
This is stuff that leads into like Jackie Brown, things like that, because, you know, that's what Quentin Tarantino grew up watching in Grindhouse and blaxploitation. This was at the height of blaxploitation. This is Rudy Ray Moore. They made a movie on Netflix about a year or two back, starring Eddie Murphy, called My Name is Dolomite. I had never cared about Dolomite. I'd never wanted to watch Dolomite. And after watching this biopic, I really wanted to visit this movie and see the original and see what the hype was about. And there was a few that I kind of was circling. There was one called Sweet Sweetback's Badass Song. It's Mario Van Peebles' dad, Melvin Van Peebles. It was one of the first major blaxploitation movies. I was thinking Foxy Brown, but I think I wanted to watch Dolomite. My backup movie would have been Black Belt Jones. I just like the kung fu comedy blaxploitation, but I think it's a genre that we have ignored. We have not even delved into yet, and I think this is going to be fun.
I'll watch it later.
Well,
Movies no one has ever told me to watch.
Full disclosure, we are all white.
Super white. If you couldn't tell by the tone of our voice,
we don't even need to
or the fact that we like Old Bay.
Yeah, we don't even need to keep the lights on in the room, man.
But see, I grew up with these kinds of movies. Like, I've seen a few in the past. I love Kentucky Fried Movie. I love, some of the things that make fun of them. I have seen Foxy Brown. I love Jackie Brown as far as Quentin Tarantino movie, which is him bringing Pam Grier back into the limelight. I love these kinds of movies. I love the history of some of this stuff. Like, it was a very unrepresented grouping of people that they started just making their own shit, and this is a prime example of it, where he went to like the Russian mob and got funding through like some record company to get this movie made. And it's one of the actors in it is also the director, and it's, if you've ever seen like Undercover Brother or what's that?
We know
other
what
one?
blaxploitation is.
Jeez,
dude.
oh, I'm sorry.
I just didn't realize we needed a fucking 25-minute intro to your movie. We get it, Dolomite.
That's right. Everyone listening is well versed into what Aaron knows and cares about. So I'm sorry, Dolomite. Let's fucking watch the movie.
So next week's gonna be super fucking interesting, because I'm flying to LA on Friday and coming back on Saturday, and then we're still doing a show. So that will be
if you
fun.
think he's cranky fucking
I'm
now.
not cranky. That you're sitting there like, I must explain what blaxploitation is for 25 minutes.
You do realize, like, the grouping of people we have, is very white. I'm sorry if maybe your friend Amir fucking listens, and that's great. Glad you're here. But he may be the only black guy that watches anything that we talk about. So I think a nice little history lesson might be a good thing.
Well, I tell you what, why don't we give the history lesson before the movie? And that way, then people know. We'll just watch Dolomite. We've been going forever. Nobody wants to hear your history lesson until maybe next week.
So 1975, he funded this. No.
No, I'm
Fine,
just
whatever.
saying. I'm
No,
just saying. I'm
good.
just trying to help.
Yeah.
I'm really not trying to
fucking
be
kills you.
my cat. I don't even
Your
know my
caffeine.
cat.
I'm gonna keep drinking this Smirnoff. Fuck you
Okay.
guys.
There is a pink Smirnoff that we are
Pink
trying.
lemonade. You guys want to try it before I drink it?
Sure. Yes. Are you gonna chug it and then drive home?
You gonna do the little like fucking swish?
I'm sorry. Do you think that Smirnoff Ice is gonna get me so drunk that I can't drive home?
He's like, I took a sip, man. I'm gonna have to take an Uber to work now.
Smirnoff.
I mean, I would drink them, but
They're-
only
it's just
to
fucking-
not.
It's just alcoholic Kool-Aid.
I mean, it would probably give me one hell of a headache.
It's drinkable. It's
It's
sweet.
just pink lemonade.
Yeah, it tastes like pink lemonade. You could drink those and
I really wasn't trying to be a dick, by the way. I'm just saying, like,
No, you never try. You just are.
it just comes naturally.
And then you don't. Then you stop talking.
He's like,
You're
oh, he's awake. He's an asshole.
Anyways,
Yells
all
at
right,
his wife before
guys.
coffee, and then
No,
yells at us
that
about
was a
coffee.
joke. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening today. We know it's been a very long episode. We appreciate you sticking around. As I said, next week will be very interesting as I will be on like 2 hours of sleep. But I am seeing There Will Be Blood, which I've never seen. And
I can't believe you. When you said that, I was like, are you fucking serious?
Here's the deal. Here's the thing about There Will Be Blood.
I don't need a history lesson.
No. I'm giving you a history lesson. There Will Be Blood is a movie that I promised myself I would only experience in the theaters. I refused to watch it before I saw it in the theater. Now I get my chance to see it in the theater. That's it. I could have a conversation about it. I have not actually sat down and watched the film. So that's where we're at. And I'm also seeing From Dusk Till Dawn, which everyone's already seen. But
I want to see that.
And
It's about vampires.
In Tarantino.
In an early century, vampires.
Oh, my God. Jim Brown. I was just saying we don't need the history lesson's fine. Do it before the movie.
That's cool.
All right. I'm Aaron.
I'm history professor Jordan.
And I'm Scott.
This is I'll Watch It Later podcast. We'll see you next week.
Big gulps, huh?
Well, see you later.
You threw me off by being mean.